What's going on, New York Jet fans? Thank you for stopping in. Here to give you the bullet points on today's training camp practice for the New York Jets. If you appreciate them, a thumbs up is an easy way to show it. And you can subscribe to the channel if you want them all summer long. So injury updates, not a ton different here on the PUP remain. Brees Hall and Dwayne Brown. Robert Saleh hinted at maybe a mid-August return to practice for those gentlemen in the rehab area. Garrett Wilson, Chris Trevler, Hamza Nasruddin, and Chaz Surratt. Garrett Wilson seems like they're taking it extra slow. Salah said last week that he should be back today, but he was in the doing his acrobatic catches and all that. If the Jets had a game tomorrow, I'm sure he'd suit up. Strevler, Hamza, and Surratt all injured in the preseason game, but nothing serious there. First team offensive line is still from left to right. Billy Turner, Laken Tomlinson, Connor McGovern, AVT, and Max Mitchell. Better day in pass pro for the offensive line overall. Typically during these videos, it's boom, Lawson sack, McDonald sack, Jermaine Johnson sack, Huff sack. Not as bad today. Only 3 would-be sacks that I noted, although it's far from an official stat. But Quinton Williams, Quentin Jefferson, and Jermaine Johnson. So 2 of those coming in the interior. So it seems like the tackles a little bit more stout today. And a couple of those sacks, Robbie Sabo noted, were coverage sacks. The Jets cornerback room is much more talented than the wide receiver room, sans Garrett Wilson at the moment. And Mekhi Becton still working with the second team as a left tackle primarily, saying that playing right tackle hurts his knee. The Jets are just abiding by that, and it doesn't seem like he's going to be really in the mix to be the week 1 starting right tackle if he doesn't get work there at some point pretty soon. The first play of teams, Aaron Rodgers, cerebral, checking something at the line of scrimmage, seeing what he saw on the defense, a quick yak intended throw to Mecole Hardman to pick up a first down. Next play after that, Corey Davis over the middle, a chunk 15 to 20 yards, nice contested sliding catch by Davis. Touchdowns on the day, Alan Lazard on an out route on a 4th and goal to end practice. And then Jeremy Ruckert had a nice toe drag catch on the left corner of the end zone. Rodgers with a nice pump fake and then manipulates the pocket, fires to Ruckert. Ryan from Jets 24/7 had a nice video of that one if you want to check that out on Twitter. Hackett brought out the trickery of flea flicker, incomplete to Randall Cobb, and then Mecole Hardman, a wide receiver pass in the end zone that was picked off, intended for Corey Davis, Jordan Whitehead with the interception there. With some second team notes, Zach Wilson, solid again, per Robbie Sabo, going through his progressions. Had a nice play where he looked off a safety anticipation throw to undrafted free agent wide receiver Xavier Gibson. Also had another deep shot to Taylor, mimicking the one that we saw in the preseason game there. Aaron Rodgers, some deep throws as well. 2 deep shots to Taylor, 1 to Cobb, but all 3 were incomplete. So definitely a good day for the New York Jets secondary. Robbie Sabo also tells us that Bam Knight remains the best running back in camp. Admittedly, running back is one of the hardest positions to judge when you're not tackling to the ground. And we didn't see any of the top 2 running backs of Bam or Michael Carter in the preseason game. A nice pass breakup by both Ashton Davis and Derek Langford. Want to keep an eye on Langford as the preseason goes on. Undrafted free agent corner. I keep seeing his name pop up in these camp notes, but didn't really see much from him in the preseason game. The kick return competition seems to have been reduced a little bit, or maybe they were just going with a lighter rotation today. Hardman, Erickson, and Gibson, the only 3 today. When they opened camp, it was like 7 guys back there. And Abanikanda and Bam Knight no longer were doing that today. I think Hardman is the favorite. He did it in Kansas City, been a Pro Bowler before. On the Dalvin Cook front, so there was a report that the Jets were going to ramp up talks with him after the first preseason games. That's like one of those nothing reports to me. But the Miami Dolphins did suffer injuries to Devon Achane and Jeff Wilson today. Both headed to the locker room, didn't return to practice. Not sure how serious it is. Hopefully they're okay. But that could be something that changes the market and increases the demand for Dalvin Cook if one of those guys is unavailable. Those are 2 of their top 3 running backs. So if one of those guys is down for an extended period of time, will the Miami Dolphins be willing to peel off another $1 million for Dalvin Cook? Definitely something to keep an eye on. If you want a complete breakdown of what I noticed from some of our young guys and roster bubble veterans in the Hall of Fame game, you can check that out down below. Thanks for hanging out today, and we'll talk all soon.